So, before I get into this video, and this is a very important video, but before I get into the subject of this video, I just want to say, if I find out that you're with somebody and they're doing magic against me and you're still sitting there laid up with that person, then you're an enemy to me too. If you find out about it and you still laid up, you're a part of that too. That's like, and like I said, some things don't have to be explained, but that's like me or whatever, and I'm with a guy, he did a shootout on the dude, and I found out about it, and I'm still with the dude laid up. Okay, so that means that both of y'all are against me, so it is what it is, and you get that karma too, especially if you know about it. So we'll just say that. No, I'm not talking about the Narcissist Scorpio X. Okay, now, I want to say this. Okay, now, with the narc, the reason why I say that the narc is your enemy and working against you and not the karmic, when they say karmic, of course, he may, like I said, he may have some people in his family, like his mother, orchestrating it, his sister, and maybe the baby mama doing magic. But it's mainly him. Think about it. He's the one that told lies on you. He's the one that, and he's done this to multiple women or whatever. He's the one that told lies. He's the one that's stalking whatever. He's the one that gathered up all them gang stalking. It doesn't really make a lot of sense for... I mean, just think about it. He knew your character, and he still tried to tear you down. Why would a karmic do that and she knew nothing about you? It's like, to me, some things just, they don't really make sense. A spell can only go so far. Some things just have to be in your spirit to do that. Maybe somebody can probably do magic on me physically to affect the way I think and this and that, because I'm an empath and the chosen one. Can't nobody do no magic to make me gather up a whole bunch of people and gang stalk them. If somebody tried to put a gang stalking spell on you as a chosen one empath, think about it. Would you go to somebody's house every day? And just, the only way you would do something like that is if you have a demon in you, and before that you would have to have like a very evil heart or something to do that. It has to already be in your mind to even think that that's okay or whatever. So we'll just say that. So some things we have to use our common sense about. Now, let me say this. It's another reading, and I'm trying to hurry up because I'm on my way to work. It's another reading or whatever that said that he's doing graveyard spells. And, you know, we've heard that in several readings, but they keep saying a karmic. They're talking about that Jezebel spirit that he's chained to, because he did a lot of certain things when he was younger, as far as like messing with Ouija boards. And when you dabble in stuff like Ouija boards, and even if you're young, you don't know what you're playing with, it's like you're conjuring up demons or whatever. Demons can get attached to you. And just look at the stuff that he's doing or whatever. He's the one that's doing the love spills. He doing the binding spills, following you everywhere, lying on you, laughing at your struggle. But they want you to think a karmic is doing that. That doesn't even make any type of sense. Another one said that followers of Aleister Crowley or whatever, they engage in bestiality and things like that. Now, think about this. If a person is going so far as to do, it's like the stuff that he's doing as far as like causing confusion and all this other stuff, it's like confusion is of the devil, so you have to look at the attributes. But one thing I know is, let me go back to the bestiality thing. They said, you know, I got a personal reading, so I know he's my enemy, but also general readings just name stuff and you know it can resonate with you. Now, when they talk about the bestiality thing, I just listen to people and I just start remembering things that I experienced and heard in their relationship. I remember he was telling me he loved dogs and stuff like that, or he had a dog or something, and the dog would always cry and throw a real big fit whenever he would leave. And one of his girls that he was with, like, just when he would just say certain things, like he would be with a girl, and then all of a sudden the girl, he would get up and go to the back room with a girl. And then talking about way before he dated me. And then talking about the dog would just throw a fit and immediately come in there and get in between them. And she was like, are you effing this dog or something? But it's like certain people say stuff or whatever, and they tell on themselves. Just like certain things when in a relationship, I asked him more than once, is he gay or whatever. He told me no or whatever. I didn't trust my intuition. But he'll do stuff like, I told you what he said about his brother-in-law to my brother-in-law came over and laid on the bed or whatever. Just like little suggestive things. He'll leave with some guys and then come back and say, shoot, I had to hurry up and get up out of there because we were all sitting around and they were giving me sexual looks. Just like little things like people do. They just like tell on themselves or whatever. And it's like, okay, so you thought they were giving you sexual looks, but you still you left, but you still go around these niggas. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, you have to use your common sense or whatever. If you really pay attention to people, they'll tell on themselves. And another psychic said that too. Just like really start listening to people and try to analyze the situation for yourself. He's the one that once you did, he has a demonic spirit in him, conjured, and from what I've heard, more than once. More than one, I mean. So he has a lot of dark, evil spirits in him that's telling him to do that type of stuff. Anybody telling you to help him, heal him, is somebody that's working against you or whatever. And you have to think about it like this. If you're an empath, you're a highly sensitive one, you're a chosen one, God, you get to experience Satan on a whole nother level because you're so nice and kind. Sorry, my video stopped. Yeah, if you're an empath, you get to see evil on a whole nother level because it's like you're so nice and you are way over compassionate and considerate, and you get to see how people try to take advantage of that. They don't embrace it. They think you're weak or whatever, or stupid, or man, I can get over on this person. So you see evil on a whole nother level. You're a chosen one or whatever. God put you here to heal people, help people, show them love, show them ways. Empaths usually act in ways that normal humans don't act or whatever. Even though we scapegoated, it's like we are overly loving and great listeners, and it's just like we just go over and beyond with love or whatever and showing people or whatever. So that's why usually when people get with an empath, they be like, man, I never found another love like that. When you're in a serious relationship with an empath, it's like those type of people are very rare to run across. It's a blessing to come across an empath in a relationship. So we'll just say that or whatever. Regardless if the relationship was perfect or not, empaths have a tendency to love on a different level. So we'll just say that. But anyway, let me go back to what I was saying. Yeah, so I remember, I just think back or whatever. Just think back. Because I spent a lot of time in confusion. In that relationship, I was confused a lot. Gaslit a lot. But when I start hearing some of the stuff, physically when I go through stuff and I look stuff up and I start hearing about certain things that people are doing in the background, and I know he's an enemy for sure now, or whatever, which I been knew he was an enemy playing games, but I didn't know it was on that level or whatever. I didn't know it was him, the main one, doing that magic, trying to kill you. He don't want to be exposed. But during that relationship, it was very confusing, very little details about his exes. And I'm not saying that makes you, not talking about your exes, make it seem like you hiding something, but it's just a lot of things I was confused about. You know, none of his kids were really talking to him or whatever. And I was just, you ask questions because it's weird for a person that has so many kids and they don't really call unless they just want something. Everybody disrespectful and just certain things, he would tell me certain things about, when his baby mamas was in a fire. And I asked about that story. It didn't really make sense. Then I go to readings and they talking about he planning on doing a fire. Another reading said something about he want to, never mind. All I'm saying, that's not really my business as long as it concerns me or whatever, or directed at me. But it's like when you wake up and you find out, you're like, man, you was with an enemy the whole time. Don't let those tarot readers, and I'm not saying all of them, but don't let tarot readings confuse you and make you think that that's somebody that's just being controlled. Yeah, he's being controlled by a demonic spirit or whatever for stuff that he did and dabbled in. It's not your job to save him or whatever. He got to receive punishment for that. Because even though he may be possessed or whatever and his head not spinning, look at what he's doing. He left you for dead, lied on you or whatever, gang stalked you, doing magic on you to affect you physically, confuse you. Don't nobody that love you gonna do nothing like that. That's somebody that has a demon in them that knows who you are and wants to destroy you. So we'll just say that. Another thing I want to say, they keep saying in certain readings or whatever, and I've heard this for a while, that somebody's trying to kill animals or whatever, and they're killing animals to try to bring, he said something about they're killing animals to try to do a ritual or whatever, so they could conjure up a dead spirit or whatever to go against you. And I remember, I thought back to that after I found out that he was the one doing it. I thought back to, he was telling me some animals that he used to hurt and kill when he was younger. And he used to put them in something, he said, in his house in the basement. Not basement, but in a, what do you call it? Garage, freezer, whatever he said he used to kill. So when you do stuff like that, you're dealing with a psychopath. And psychopaths are possessed by the devil. So you just have to really, really be careful. I will get into more details, but I'm on my way to work or whatever. But I just want to, whenever I get a chance, I'm going to try to get on here and tell some more of my story just so you guys can be more aware. And you have to really, really know who your enemy is, because if you let that person back in, first of all, you don't need to know no explanation. You already know online if you go into readings, and even if you don't go to tarot readings, the fact that the person left you for dead and following you lets you know that he's plotting on you. He's the one that's trying to see if the magic is working. He's the one that's trying to see, okay, he's doing physical stuff, so he's trying to come around you to see if the spells are working or whatever against you, if you're dead yet. So just start really, really paying attention. He's the one telling people certain lies against you or whatever so they can follow you. And I mean, just think about it. You're not a famous person. You're not even in my case, when I have 2 exes doing it, you're not a famous person. You're just online telling your story. Why would people be watching you and following you and going to store, seeing your every move or whatever? It's like something that's being said, because it doesn't even make any sense. Yes, these people are evil to a certain extent, but he's doing something or whatever, or saying something, or just whatever. I don't know. I don't want to know. I just want that energy away from me. So that's just something you guys have to be aware of. That's all I have for now. Wait, I want to come on here and add one more thing. When they're talking about he's hearing voices, and just so you guys know, I don't really care about if people believe me or not. I'm kind of like moving a little bit past that or whatever, trying to get out the fake of explaining myself, because it's just, I'm just tired of doing it or whatever. But when I was in a relationship with him, and remember, there's no loyalty, because the nigga told lies on me and working against me. He's my enemy. So we'll just say that. But he has schizophrenia or whatever. And so when it was one time we got in an argument, and all of a sudden it's like he just started having a whole conversation with himself or whatever. Not facing me, but just started talking to somebody. So when people are schizophrenic, most of the time they say they hear scary stuff or whatever, and I'm sorry, they see scary things and they see things that's not there. And it could, I think, in a spiritual way, I just think, and I think that with anything or whatever, stuff can be sent to you through spell work or something you dabbled in. You weren't supposed to dabble in. You can get depression from being around different types of people. It's all like spiritual or whatever. But when people have schizophrenia, they hear things and see things that aren't there. So that would make sense, as if he's making up lies on you, or think that you're cheating on him and you're not or whatever. Either somebody telling him that, or either he's imagining it to a certain type of way. But sometimes I just feel like this person is just evil, and he just, makes stuff up or whatever, just demonic or whatever, just to try to play the victim. But to a certain extent, it's like if a person has multiple personalities and they hear stuff, that's a very, very dangerous person. And I thought back to a tarot reader I used to watch way back when she did a video on my page, and it was like, who is gang stalking you? And I just remember thinking about it. She was like, this person is very, 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 very dangerous, and he's responsible for they're in connection with your ex. So yeah, he's responsible for all this stuff. So just know your enemy. Don't let that person near you. Stay strong on your prayers or whatever. What I heard, he's really, really going hard to try to destroy you. He's the one, when they say they don't want you and this person to get back together, they're talking about, they don't want you and this person to get together. They're talking about a soulmate love that's supposed to be coming for you. And they don't want you, they're not talking about you, because it's already understood that that's an enemy. You don't need to go back to that person. They just know he likes to cause a lot of confusion. I told you before, a reader I used to watch or whatever was saying something about he knows how to say certain things in his mind or whatever. Very demonic. That's why when you go to readings, they're like, he misses you, he's sorry. The nigga misses you in the readings or whatever, he's sorry, but he keeps stalking to follow you. So either those people are lying or whatever, acting like he misses you, or either which in general I think they are anyway. Anybody if misses you is gonna call you and apologize, and remorseful, they're gonna apologize. Or either he's doing it in his mind or whatever and making it seem like oh, I'm sorry, so you could just stay stuck and confused. He's the one that did this, isolating you and putting spells on you so nobody of any quality will see you or whatever. He's doing a lot of stuff, so we'll just say that. And I'm putting you on blast or whatever, just because. And he's the one that's doing some things over my account or whatever. He's the one that had my password. He's the one that's painting this whole total image of you and know how you work, because it's like the reasons why narcs get mad and they're jealous of you is because they lived a different type of life than you. They even though y'all both were scapegoated, it's like in general, a lot of narcs, they're really, really bullied and abused on a whole nother level or whatever. Worse than the empath, and they choose to become they choose to become a victimizer or whatever. They choose to project it and get other people they feel are weaker than them and destroy them. That's why they usually pick on empaths, but they become PUSSYs to other people. They can't stand up to other people, but they want to destroy you and the one that helped them or whatever. It's a demon in them or whatever that wants them to not be around you. So just think about what he's doing. If somebody left you for dead, gang stalking you, it's like they're trying to push you away. The spirit in them wants you to look at this person a certain type of way, don't want you to help them, want you to see the wickedness and evil in them, wants to destroy you because they don't want you to drive the spirit out. They don't want that person to come back to you and you can help them get the spirit out of them and heal them or whatever, which you don't, but you need to stay away from that anyway, because it's not your job to do that or whatever. Sometimes people do certain things and that's their karma or whatever. He did a death spell on you with graveyard dirt or whatever, and I've heard this from multiple readers way months back or whatever, talking about that. He went to the graveyard and got graveyard dirt and did a spell on you, a death spell. But then you supposed to help heal that person. But think about if the spell would have went through and you weren't protected, you'd be dead or whatever. He doing all this stuff and still going against you, but he misses you and he's remorseful. So use your common sense. Anybody telling you that it's a freaking enemy. So just stay prayed up. That's all I gotta say.